Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. I've been asked to do a review on the new PRADO. Now I'm going to be as concise as possible, as difficult as it is for me, needing to give clear, well-explained detail of what I think and why, so that you can understand it. So, as I've always said, everybody loves their new Toyota, their new PRADO. The vehicles are awesome, there's no issue there. I'll give you an example. The 2019 that we had, there's no issue there unless you understand the mechanicals of the vehicle. So it's more of a preference. So the 2019, like the 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 30, they were all awesome vehicles in their year, but of course there was improvements made later. There were problems that came out later with some vehicles. It's just a matter of what suits you and what your preference is, really. Now, the 2021 or 22 or even 20, since they remapped it, I'm going to call it the remap, okay? The remap, the one that's got the bigger turbo. Now, a lot of people will tell you, oh yeah, it's great, they got rid of the lag. Well, actually, no. They actually introduced lag, okay? So the lag is actually worse on the 21-22, the remapped one, than on the previous one. Probably the bigger turbo takes a bit more, it takes a bit more to get it going. So they've introduced lag, but what they've got rid of is the lack of power and the lack of torque. They've increased that to what would seem satisfactory, but the biggest difference is the automatic transmission. Okay, so it's the same transmission, but it's completely different software, and it's chalk and cheese the comparison of how this transmission operates compared to the 2009. Sorry if it looks a bit close, I've got the camera zoomed a bit, you know what I mean? Give you a bit of view, because your camera eyes aren't as good as my eyes, so I figured, we'll give it a bit of view. And you might, not that anything really exciting in the picture, well, there's nothing exciting at the moment, but there could be. So the new vehicle, but should you buy one? This is a completely different question to a review on the vehicle, and that's why you really need to be subscribed to the bell and watch all the videos, because I've already talked about the hybrids that are coming, and they'll be coming soon. Now, I don't know when they're coming, and I'm not going to pretend to, like people will on other channels. There's no way you can know what's coming to Australia and when it's coming. Even in Japan, they probably don't know that. So they know what they're working on, they know what they've got, they know they've got the countries, all this sort of thing. But at the end of the day, is it going to come to Australia, and when it's going to come to Australia, you just don't know. So you've just got to base it on averages. Now, we've got awesome hybrid Camrys now, so in case you missed the other video, the new hybrid system with 2 electric motors, awesome, and they're just going to get better as well, right? So we've got awesome hybrid Camrys, RAV4s, Klugers and stuff like that, I believe. What do you think's next? Okay, so Prados and stuff like that, they're going to be next. And of course then it'll probably go into 300s. The whole range will end up with a hybrid option, and I think the hybrid option will be the best because it's the most simple and most reliable, if you know what I mean. So as far as the review on the vehicle, it's chalk and cheese, so it is really good compared to the 2019. And what I mean is, I'll say it again, it's virtually the same vehicle, other than the bigger screen, the Apple CarPlay. That's what you see from sitting in the driver's seat. Virtually the same vehicle. The biggest difference is the transmission software. It's chalk and cheese. Before, it was rubbish. It was one of the worst transmission softwares, allowing that torque converter, as soon as you come to the slight undulation, unlocking, always slipping, always creating heat, always able to get to 117 degrees really easily, even temperatures close to that in less than half an hour from a cold start on a 6-degree night. Absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, is how bad it was. And there should actually be a customer service exercise with a reflash to update those 15, 16, 17, 18, 19s until the change, if you know what I mean. So, but that's just my opinion. I don't know what they're going to do. I doubt they're going to do it. I doubt that's going to happen unless someone from Toyota is listening to these videos very carefully, and people are putting in the comments saying, yeah, I'm not happy and all that, and they might actually take action, because they should want to keep their customers happy. Customer service exercise, customer satisfaction exercise, whatever you want to call it, exercise. I don't really care. What would be really good is everybody maintained the right speed. So this guy in the PRADO here, mate, because there's a speed camera here, he needs to slow down. The same sort of people that like speeding are the same ones that like to, they need to do 5Ks under or 10Ks under the speed limit, is that right? So it's just absolutely crazy stuff. Anyway, he's going to love this because, you know, we've got to move out of the right lane that's apparently closed. I don't know what's going up here, they keep closing roads. We're heading out to Dirt Road 4x4 in Werribee. Yeah, we've got some road works and, you know, we've all got to hit the brakes and do 60 because no one's working today. It's probably even going to be 40. Anyway, it's all good. We're happy to do that because that's what we've got to do to be safe on the roads when nobody's working, isn't it? So the transmission software, it's not even, I've said it in the other video, so I don't know why I've been asked to review it, but here we are, we're doing it again. It's chalk and cheese. It absolutely locks its head off. It's locked all the time. You know, you can accelerate, you can and it'll change gears and lock. It's just so locked it's not funny. It's absolutely beautiful. I couldn't have done it better myself, you know. I just couldn't have done it better myself. Literally couldn't have done it better myself. Isn't this amazing? I got to say, this road, it's always shut going to the left and they send you out to Werribee. Now I want to go out to Werribee. Now it's shut going to Werribee. Like, how cool is this? We're in a 60 zone. PRADO owner. Look at this, PRADO owner. Unbelievable. He's doing probably about 80 Ks because I'm not going to say we're stretching it a little bit. It's, mate. Anyway, so easily distracted. Plenty of other people, not just PRADO owners. So yeah, speeding at the speed limit, but do me a favour, when you slow down for the speed cameras, just slow down to the speed limit. No need to go 10 Ks under. So we're getting the run around again today because of the ongoing roadworks in our lives, and it is forever going upgrades of roads because guess what? They didn't plan ahead. And we're going totally off topic. They should plan a little bit for the future, be much more cost effective, but it seems to be they still got unlimited funds. Now we're going to get banked up in some traffic that's headed to the city because we had to come this way and we didn't put it in Google Maps, which would have allowed for the traffic, and now we're stuck in it. There's no way out. Absolutely ridiculous, these things. And this is why I don't know how you all do it, travelling in peak hour traffic to work and dealing with all this traffic all the time. Mate, you know, spare a thought for all the drivers, truck drivers, all the regular drivers, mate. Must do your head in, right? This is ridiculous. I mean, I've got to deal with this, I don't know how long for, but hopefully not too long. So speeding really did well, got you to the back of the queue just as quick. Anyway, now we've got some time, we can just finish off this review. The vehicle, look, it's a Toyota, it's a new Toyota, they're bloody beautiful. Everything about it's awesome. Now, the cautions you got is the engine. So in 15, I told you 1GDs. Don't go for a 1GD, just wait, stick with the last of the best. 1KD still last of the best, still love them. We've got some other videos on those at the moment on ways to get, that you should be able to get a free engine, because regardless of what the causes are and how rare it is, it's too common, and one cracked piston's too many, and Toyota should be paying for it, no one else. So we're sharing some information on what, if people follow it properly, watch the videos to the end, listen to the explanation, you should get your free engine if in the unlikely event that it happens to you a cracked piston. Okay, so it's only really going to work out if you've got all your correct maintenance done, and those that go above and beyond are the ones that more likely are going to get their free engine. And it's a little bit different to the usual, a bit different to what you think. Do I need to say it again? The vehicle's awesome. The transmission's completely different. The older vehicles, they had some timing issues, timing chain guide issues. Apparently they rectified that, I think around maybe 2008, late 18 or around 19. That may or may not be accurate. I mean, because they made changes and thought they fixed it, doesn't mean it's always fixed, so time will tell. Yeah, time will tell. So there's possible timing issues. Always with chains and guides, they're a major repair. It's not like just changing a timing belt. That's what's good about the 1KD. There's hydraulic lifters in there. They could, no issues that I know of so far, but they could give issues in time, which would be a more major rectification compared to on a 1KD check and valve clearances that are always in check, right? So, and you just do it when you're going into your injectors. So the vehicle's awesome. It's got a little bit more power once you get, as I said in the other video, once you get to about 2,000 revs and above, it's got more power, it's got more torque, but it's not a lot. If you were to take off at the lights comparing the two vehicles, the 19 and the 22, just floor it, it just feels the same. They just take off. They're fairly gutless. It's a 2755cc. What do you want from it? You know, but it just goes and it revs like a petrol, you know, not that much, but you know, like it'll rev out to about 4 grand like most diesels do, you know, nice and quiet and smooth like a petrol engine, because they've had those hydraulic lifters for years generally, and overhead cams and all this sort of stuff, you know, so petrol engines are good little revvers. We're in some ridiculous traffic here, so the advice is use Google Maps because it'll tell you how to avoid the traffic. This is a pretty crap review, I know, but the cars are just good, you know. The Toyotas, they're the best cars to buy. The transmission is good now. The engine is acceptable. It's got enough power and torque that it's acceptable. It's got enough torque that it really holds speed well on the hills, and coupled with the software, it just holds really well. I've got no complaints with the vehicle whatsoever. The only caution to you is if you think, good, okay, Ant's given it the go-ahead, let's go buy a new diesel. You've got to understand diesels are on the way out. A lot of countries have got rid of them. We're headed that way. Everything's going towards hybrid and electric, that sort of thing. I just don't know if you're going to get left with a vehicle, a diesel, that's devaluing, with the risk of also DPF issues. We haven't mentioned there's always the risk of DPF issues. They've put long warranties on those, but you know, the inconvenience is still there. If you're out in the middle of Australia or somewhere when it happens, doesn't matter how good your warranty is. And just for anyone that wanted to know, currently the after start trip computer 32 minutes says 9.3 litres per 100 Ks. So it was probably 9 before we got into the traffic. Thanks for watching. That's a video. That's a review that you wanted. Hopefully it's been all right, but we'll have a better one than that. I wasn't very concise, and I had plenty of distractions as well. You get that. All right, guys, catch you.